About a day later, Ruby woke up, expecting to wake up right next to Super Final Wars, but when she turned over to his side of the bed, he was already gone. She realized that he didn't go to work early, so she figured that he might as well went to the kitchen to make something to eat before leaving to go to work. So, when she got up, and after getting done taking a shower, she went downstairs to go find him. It didn't take her long to find him. He was literally just lying there, having his head like completely. He was basically face planted on the table, and Ruby could tell that something was bothering him. Yeah, honey. Oh, hey, babe. Is everything alright? Yeah. Well, no, nothing's quite alright. Oh, do you mind talking about it? You know what? Yeah, sure. I'm thinking back about my childhood. Your childhood? Yeah. I think it's about time you know my origin story. As you already know, I am the son of Baraki, giant Mugi that attacked. Well, that was basically very evil, and we had to put him down. Yeah? Well, he wasn't always bad. He wasn't? Then what made him become bad? Well, I'm about to tell you. It began a long time ago, 1,000 years ago, to be precise. As you all know, they lived great serpents called Imugis. They lived in heavens above, and they have followers. Hundreds, if not thousands of followers. Basically, most of these Imugis actually proved to be in charge. Basically, they proved to be their kings or their leaders of their own private nations. They restore balance and peace to the world. And every 500 years, one Imugi was rewarded for his good deeds. The chance to become a celestial dragon. And you know the rest. Well, one of these great serpents was Baraki. Back then, he wasn't always bad. He was actually a very nice guy. When you got on his good side, when you got on his bad side, he was a guy you do not want to talk to. He was more like a guy you should run away from if you got onto his bad side. But if you got onto his good side, he's more like a guy you can go have a drink with at a bar. And he was a really good guy. back then, his followers were also good. It wasn't until he met my mother was when his life started to change. For the good. For a couple of years, they agreed to wed. And all the celestial dragons and all the Moogis gathered around to celebrate their wedding. Most of these Barakis, well, these Emugis, were really good friends with Baraki. They were more like family to him. And they were really proud. In a couple of years later, he ended up having a son. And that son is me. He decided to name me Super Final Wars. And he knew that I was destined to become the greatest Imugi in history. But everything didn't last forever. He was always a good dad to me. But you said he was a bad father to you. That's because through the beginning he was a good father to me. But it wasn't until one day something happened. Something changed Baraki. Mainly because he saw one of his closest friends was gifted to become a celestial dragon. This was more like his brother. Baraki felt completely jealous over his dear good friend who got the chance to become a dragon, and he didn't. So, it didn't take him long to find and locate the celestial dragons and had a word with them. And they replied, "It's not our job to choose which one who will be destined to become a celestial dragon. It is heaven who decides. Heaven decides on which Imugi becomes a dragon. You'll just have to wait for another 500 years. And this, Baraki was not accepting. Baraki felt jealous. He felt betrayed. Immediately, he decided to take his anger out on my mother. And on me. This was when Baraki started to reveal his true colors. And apparently, as if he started to turn evil, his followers started to become more corrupt. Baraki started changing every single day. And this started to affect the Imugis, all of them. Baraki became the first Imugi to ever become evil, corrupt, a monster. Immediately, Baraki started to do the opposite of good and start doing bad things. He started killing other Imugis and started to destroy their followers. And so, it was decided. So, heaven decided to hide away the Aweju. It was decided in 5007 or whatever. Basically, when I was a teenager at that time. When my father became truly evil, so my mother and I were left defenseless, hungry, and alone. My father was a provider to the family. He was the best father I had. But you know the great celestial dragon who helped me defeat Baraki, right? Yeah? What about him? Well, he showed up. He was one of the good friends of Baraki. And so, he decided to take me and my mom in to his territory, into his care and protection. He apologized to my mom and me about about my father becoming truly evil. And over time, he started acting like a father to me. And I decided to prefer him as my dad instead of Baraki. This is why I've always called Baraki by his real name. I've always avoided calling him by father. The Goody Moogie always taught me to do the right thing, and I made it my goal to make him proud. What about your mom? Well, apparently my mom started falling in love with him. It didn't take Baraki long to find this out, and eventually he ended up killing my mom. This angered my father. He became a little overprotective of me after my mom was killed. He can tell that the friend he once had, the friend that he once called brother, was gone, was replaced by this demon, this monster. The Baraki he knew was clearly gone. The Baraki he now that stands before him was now corrupted, evil. He was now a monster. You know the other part of the story that happened? You know, that is... You know... yeah, the one part where the warrior and the girl who had the Ueju inside of her fell off a cliff and Baraki tried to get them a long time ago? It was before he died in like 900 years ago? Yeah. After that, Baraki decided to wait for 500 years. Through that time, my father decided to keep an eye out. Even though Baraki was gone, well, the Ueju was gone, it didn't mean Baraki didn't stop his reign of terror. Apparently, it only worsened. It just apparently got a lot worse. Way worse.